Hi guys! So for this week's Throwback Thursday, we're going to talk about rescue meds and how I discovered what mine was and how it kind of helped stop a seizure in its tracks and how they worked for a while anyway. So stick around, I'll tell you all about it. Alright, so where I left off last week was how I started developing more and more partial temporal seizures, my light auras, whatever. How Keppra wasn't really helping those anymore. Keppra was really only doing things for my tonic clonics, keeping those kind of at bay. So I hadn't had a chance to meet with my epileptologist, neurologist about these yet. We were still keeping an eye on them. Well, they were getting worse. These light seizures. I had talked about how stress was getting more because of the pandemic and virtual school, and just, it was all coming together at once. And it wasn't letting up because now we're in the middle of September of 2020, last year. So knee deep in pandemic and craziness. So let's see. This was September 14th of 2020. I started having a light aura. You know, usually in these videos, when I have to look down at my notes, I edit it out and then pretend like I just have it all memorized. Girl, short-term memory, loss of focus. This is real life. This is epilepsy. I'm not editing this out. I have to write this down, look at it, remember. So I'm looking at this. September 14th at 2:10 p.m., I started having like, oh boy, I started seeing the flashing lights. I'm about to have another of those weird seizures. So on my doctor's orders, I took half a Keppra to see if it would be a rescue med for me. I'd never even heard that term, but she's like, it might help stop the seizure. I took half a Keppra at 2:10, and by 2:30, so 20 minutes later, it had dissipated. It had stopped. So it had actually worked as a rescue med. I was like, oh wow, this kind of worked. So that was on September 14th. Next one. On September 16th, I had finally gotten to talk to my neurologist at an actual appointment. They started me on Lactamil or lamotrigine, the generic, whatever, to see, you know, if we could use that as a daily medicine to head these off. Well, on September 18th, I had another of these partial light aura ones start. That started at 12:10 p.m. Once again, I took half a Keppra. That dissipated by 12:35. So about 20 minutes later, that rescue med worked again. It's like, nice, okay. I stopped another seizure. Well then, 5 days later, now keep in mind, I'm still taking this Lactamil this whole time daily, to head these off to where I don't have to worry about them at all. So 5 days later, on September 23rd, I started getting another seizure. Again, at least on these, I have kind of a warning that they're about to happen. I have the light flashes before it starts for a couple minutes. This one started at 4:20 p.m. I took half a Keppra. It stopped by 4:36. It had dissipated. Again, rescue med working. But the whole point is, I'm not supposed to have to take rescue meds. This Lactamil or lamotrigine, whatever, is supposed to ideally stop them from even starting at all. So that was frustrating. So on the same day I had that last one, September 23rd, they increased my Lactamil lamotrigine to 2 times a day. Because again, you're supposed to start those slowly anyway. You can't just go full on, give you, a crazy dose of them. So I understood that we were trying to see what was going to work, slowly build up, go through it. But, we had determined that Keppra was my go-to medicine, my good one for my tonic clonics. It wasn't giving me crazy or really any side effects. Keppra was good to me. I know it's not good for a lot of people, but Keppra was good to me. Took care of my tonic clonics. Apparently it was good rescue med for these kinds, but it wasn't stopping my new partial or temporal whatevers. So this is the part of my journey, my story, where I began my second drug, Lactamil, lamotrigine, that I'm still on to this day, which we'll go ahead and tell you now, one of the ones I'm not allergic to. Where the first 3 we tried, we found out I was allergic to. This is another one I'm not allergic to, so yay! But this is where we started playing with this one in September of 2020 to see if it would help these crazy light aura ones. And yeah, this is kind of a short video because this is just, that's all that happened here was I found out what a rescue med was, that they do work sometimes. For me, it worked. But it was frustrating that I had to take one at all because for them to start, I don't know. It's just crazy. Brains are crazy. And this worked fairly quickly. Like that's what amazing is. My doctor told me that Keppra is one of the ones that can get in your system pretty fast because I wasn't crushing them up. I wasn't, you know, biting them, crunching them up. I just swallowed it. It wasn't liquid form or whatever. I just swallowed it. And within 20 minutes, that seizure did not come to fruition. I just felt a little woozy for a while, saw the flashing light, and then it didn't turn into anything crazy. So, I don't know. Rescue meds for the win. But, yeah, so let me know down below in the comments down below. Do y'all have rescue meds? Do they work for you? Do you have enough time, enough warning to even take one? I'd love to hear. So, yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.